Hello guys, welcome to my review for Ad Astra, the new 2019 space film starring Brad Pitt, where he goes traveling through the solar system looking for his father on some form of mission. That's all I knew going into this movie. I really didn't know much going into this film. I just went to go and see it on release day. I wanted a really good sci-fi spectacle to have a look at, and I was really amazed by this film. This film is gorgeous to look at. The visuals in this film uncomparable to many of the space films I'd seen. I didn't really know what style this film was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to be more of a thrilling space adventure or more of a complex and confusing space adventure. I didn't know if it was going to be like Gravity or like Interstellar, and I love both those movies. I think Interstellar's a masterpiece, and I really wanted to see what style this movie was, and this movie didn't really have any of those styles. This movie is really original and very unique. This is more of a calming space experience. It's more of a really amazing experience that sort of just gets you to see all these visuals, see what it's like on these planets, see what it's like in space. This is probably the most realistic depiction of someone going on this adventure. It is set in the near future, and I have a lot of praises with this film. It was a film that didn't affect me afterwards. It's a film that isn't too complex. It has a very simple story, which allowed it to just focus on the visuals and the character, and to really make you feel like you're in space with Brad Pitt. And let's talk about Brad Pitt in this movie. He's fantastic. He doesn't talk much. Most of the dialogue he has his voiceover, which I thought was great. He has to do these psychology tests throughout the film, and that's where most of his character comes into it. So sometimes that can be a bit frustrating because he's literally telling us who he is and telling us what he's doing. But it added a lot to his character, in my opinion. There's not really much of that out there. There's not really another film like this out there that is like this mission, that is presented this way. And I really loved Brad Pitt's character in this film. He had an emotional attachment to this mission, and that's what I loved about it. Him trying to find his father. It's a very simple story. It's just that it's told in this big grand scheme. And the majority of positives I have with this movie is with the direction, the insane look of space. I need to talk about the look of space in this film. It is gorgeous. This film is easily worth seeing. It's worth seeing anyway, but it's really worth seeing for the visual scope. The look of the moon here. Oh my god, the moon sequences. There is an incredible sequence with these rovers chasing each other on the moon. Gorgeous to look at. Mind-bending stuff. Mars looked amazing. The reds, the dust, the oranges. Beautiful lighting in this movie. Beautiful direction. The greens and the purples when they're on the spaceship. It is awe-inspiring, really, what they do here with the visuals. There is a scene, I don't really want to spoil it, but they do go to other planets, and Neptune is one, and oh my god, the visuals just... oh, beautiful. Gorgeous shots in this movie. This movie is just worth seeing on the biggest screen, just to see these insane, awesome moments. And I also liked how this movie depicted the future. It was a very realistic look at space travel and look at the future. I loved how there was like a base on the moon with a subway on. That was just really realistic to me and really good. And I like seeing Brad Pitt go on this mission with us. We didn't really learn much about him in his normal life. We only really learn about his space travel. And through it, he does have a lot of weak development, but it's not about him as a character developing. It's not about him as a person. It's not a character study of him. It's just a character that we follow through the mission because he has an emotional attachment to the mission. The sequences where he has to send a message out to his father, sitting there, you can see the emotion in his face. Really good acting, really good stuff, really good performance from him. No disappointments there. But I must say the majority of this film just wowed me. It was really intriguing. It was just a really beautiful movie to look at. It had a solid, simple story of this space adventure through our solar system. Its depiction of realism through this, I thought, was gorgeous. I really liked this film. I really recommend you see it, but I do have a few issues here and there. Most of them are just nitpicks. I really did like a lot of sequences. There was a lot of really standout moments. There was just moments within that were really great, and I loved those moments. But I must say the pacing wasn't all great. The opening scene was fantastic. The opening scene was really thrilling, and I wouldn't call this a thrilling film. It's not like a thriller. It's not like the mission keeps going wrong. It's just that there's a few thrilling sequences that get you on the edge of your seat, and just because it's put in this environment of a spaceship, space is a very claustrophobic, like a spaceship is a very claustrophobic area to set your movie in. So you instantaneously have that feel there, and there are a lot of really standout tense moments which I like, but the majority of this film is really calming and beautiful and emotional, which is what I liked about it. It wasn't like boosted, it wasn't unique, it wasn't something special, it wasn't something to remember. It's just something that is just worthy of seeing. Most of my issues do come down to some of the pacing. I didn't ever think this movie was boring, but there definitely are slower moments throughout the film, and some of those slower moments just are never as grand as the other moments. And as you don't really connect with the characters too much beside the situation, there's not much there. And I must say, I would have liked to have seen more of Brad Pitt's just normal home life, because we don't really get to see what person he is underneath. His relationship, I didn't think worked too well. I don't think that needed to be in the film. It could have been removed, and it wouldn't have made any difference. But the relationship he has with his father was easily the thing driving this film, besides the visuals, and that element of the film I thought was the best. And Ad Astra was a great movie. This movie, it didn't blow me away, it didn't shock me, it was just consistently really well-directed space travel stuff. It's a simple story, told as good as it could have been. When you see it, I had a great cinema experience watching this movie. It's a really, really good sci-fi spectacle. I really recommend seeing it. It has a nice, realistic depiction of the solar system, a beautiful visual scope, and a really good performance. I'm going to give Ad Astra an A. I'm also going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. Didn't have many issues with this one. It's a really, really good movie. Comment down below your opinions on this film if you did go out and see it. And of course, thank you for watching, and goodbye.